Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be going over Umebura SP9. It was a super major that happened this weekend in Japan and this tournament was phenomenal. In 13th place we had Harrison, Mia, Kananebe, Zach Ray, and 9th place we had Ken, Munikin, Asimo, and Umeki. In 7th place we had Otorie and Dio. 5th place we had Tora and Shutone. 4th place we had Kameme, 3rd place we had Yoshidora, 2nd place we had T, and 1st place we had, of course, Aquila. There was a ton of amazing losers runs, upsets, winners runs. There was just everything you could want from a super major in this tournament, and we're going to be going over the top 16, the runs, and all that good stuff in today's video. And the first run we're going to be talking about is going to be Tora's. He beat Munikin, Otorie, Sunny, Aaron, and Iam to name a few of his really good wins. Tora is an incredible player that was honestly very underseeded for this event, but it's kind of fair because he doesn't really go to anything, so he's pretty hard to seed. But Tora is incredible, definitely in contention for the best Samus, not only in Japan and in the world. Like, it's crazy that Japan has two Samuses that are like this close to being number one when Siski exists. Like, it just shows how incredible they are. But Tora's upset over Aaron. We said if Aaron was going to get upset at any point, it probably would be to Tora, and that did pan out. He played very well this weekend, and I honestly think if we see more of him, we'll probably just see more repeats of these like insane runs because he's just such an incredible player. His only losses are to Aquila, and then I think Kameme he lost to in losers. Yeah, Aquila and Kameme, like, amazing losses, a really good wins. Like, Tora is just, he's such an incredible player, and I hope we get to see more of him. The next player I want to talk about is going to be Munikin, who beat Leah early on in pools, which is a really good win. Even though Leah, like, it's unfortunate because he probably won't count for that much on like a ranking just because he doesn't really go to much stuff, but maybe that'll change in 2023. But we know Leah is an absolutely incredible player, like one of the best in Japan. Also, we saw Sue at this tournament, so shouts to that. Two very, very good players we don't get to see enough anymore. Lost to T in a very close set in winners, and then beat Shiryuki in losers, which is a good win, and Kanebe, who was also one of the runs of the tournament. Spoiler, we're going to be talking about him too, and then did lose to Tora, but Munikin looked so strong. And again, there's a lot of like very good Ryu players, or like Ryu, but like Shoto players as well, because like Takara is Ken. I think Munikin is mainly Ryu. I know he does use a little bit of Ken, but like it should be mainly Ryu because that character is just better. But Munikin played out of his mind this tournament, and he just like looked very, very good. Like, he tied with Asimo as the highest Shoto at the event. Like, that's a super impressive feat that cannot be understated. And he's someone that usually doesn't have a chance to shine like this. Getting 9th place at a super major is a really good start to his 2023, and I hope we get to see more of it as the year continues. The next player I want to talk about is going to be Kananabe. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, but I think that's how you pronounce it. But he is one of the best Fox players in Japan right now. And considering that Passeriman got 250th at this tournament, maybe he is the best. But also, like, you know, one result doesn't mean like, oh, I'm bad with this character now. No, that's not what that means. Of course, he'll bounce back, Passeriman that is. But Kananabe looked incredible. He beat Hito, Aka, and Yara, losing to only Otorie and Munikin. Those are all phenomenal wins, especially the Hito one, because Aka and Yara are on the rise right now, and honestly, in like 2023 of Japan, I could see them both being top 10, top 20 players if they're not already. But Hito is like a top 10 solidified Japanese player at this point, probably like top 30 in the world, around there if he did travel to more events. But Hito is phenomenal, and getting that win over him is so good for your season, especially like, again, with the first event of the year. That is just such an amazing start. And if Kananebe can like carry that momentum, he could easily, if he's putting up results like this and getting these wins, easily be like a top 50 player, top 30 player in the world. Like, he just looked on fire this tournament, and I really hope we get to see more of him because God bless, Good Fox is so fun to watch. The next player we have to talk about with the most impressive losers run of the tournament is going to be Harrison. He lost to Aquila fairly early on because he was seeded to play Aquila in round 1 pools, or like winners finals of pools. He can't feel too bad about that, but then he just went on the just most insane losers run I've ever seen. Like, this was incredible. He beat Chiro, he beat Aaron, which we'll get to, he beat Luminous and Lai as well. There's a bunch of other players as well, but those are some super notable ones. The Aaron win is massive because Aaron is like, he's a top 8 seed. That's an insane win. Now, that is a matchup that Diddy does struggle in a lot. We saw Tweak lose to Big D, and like at main stage when he tried the Diddy, it got whopped, but still, that is an insanely good win. And then he beat Kome in Ice Climber Shulk, which, again, shouldn't be doable, but he did it. And then he lost to Yoshidora, so he lost to Yoshidora and Aquila for 13th, which is like God bless his heart, that sucks. But the fact that he can make this impressive of a loser's run with Ice Climbers, a character that if they run into like one bad matchup, they should lose, is just incredible. And then even when he did run into one bad matchup in Kome, he won. Like, Harrison is amazing. Again, we're in the Ice Climbers Renaissance right now, which is like so sick to see. It's just such a funny character, and I'm so here for it. Big shouts to Harrison. This is, if not like maybe Torres is most impressive, but this is by far the most impressive loser run of the tournament. Before we talk about the next player, I have to give a quick little shout out to Earth because I know a lot of people are excited to see him on his comeback. He did beat Raito, which is a pretty good win. Just like Raito is like an incredible player. He's so good. So he did pretty good this tournament. Shouts to Earth. He's incredible. But now let's talk about Dio, because Dio played out of his mind. He beat Lai, Abadongo in Palutena Snake, which shouldn't be doable. Lost to Aquila, which is like, boohoo, it's Aquila. Then he beat Noi, Mia, and Osimo before losing to Yoshidora. So he lost to Aquila Yoshidora for 7th, rough. But he beat Mia? Hello? Like, that is such an insane win. Mia is incredible. Mia is one of the best players in the world right now, like top 15 still, even with this 13th year at least. And that is also Snake Game & Watch. But also, we had Kronos beat Mia this weekend, or Kronos beat Meister this weekend. I don't know if the Snake players figured out the Game & Watch matchup and just didn't tell me, but, like, this should not be happening. Also, Dio over Abadongo is pretty good, just considering I think that was probably Palu Snake, but also, like, all of Abadongo's characters do pretty good against Snake. Dio is incredible. In contention for best Snake in the right now. I would still say it's Apollo Kage. He's like a little ahead of all the other Snakes. But then like coming for the throne, you have MVD, Dio, Shogun, Omar, Alandis, Kronos, someone else I'm forgetting. Like, there are so many unreal Snake players right now, and it's just so sick to see because I love this character. But like winning an unmatchable matchup like that against Mia is just, again, I can't understate how impressive that is. And the win on Osimo is also just very good because Osimo is incredible. Abadongo, same thing. Noi, all the players he beat here, very impressive. Dio should be super happy with this run. And I just hope we get to see more of it because when Dio plays well, like, he's one of my favorite Snakes to watch. He is just so clean. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, that being, of course, Mia. He did get upset with a 13th place, losing to a Dio and a Torier in winners and losers, respectively. Not bad losses, honestly, all things considered. And he still had to get a lot of wins along the way. Like, he beat Sunny, he beat Takara, he beat Now, and he beat Choco in Game & Watch. Zersuit, I assume, unless Choco switched up, which is, like, that's a very bad matchup for Game & Watch, so huge shouts to him for that, overcoming these bad matchups. And Mia, like, always makes a loser's run. It seems like every single time he loses, he gets at least, like, 3 or 4 sets in before he does bow out finally, which is like, again, it shows tournament stamina, it shows his mentality isn't bad after he loses, which is super promising for such a young player. And I don't think this loss will hurt him too much for the 2023 season. Like, obviously it isn't great and it's a bad way to start off the year, especially considering how good like his Japan 24 was, his Subageki was, but he'll bounce back. He's an incredible player. It's a rough performance here, but hey, him and Meister, they had a rough weekend. The next one at like Genesis, I don't think Mia's going to Genesis, but like Genesis weekend and then next Japanese tournament, Mia and Meister, they're going to bounce back and just roll everyone. The next player I want to talk about is going to be Zach Ray, who all things considered had a pretty good tournament. He only lost to Kameme and Atorie. I'm pretty sure he placed his seed, and then he got wins on Takara and Riziasu, who are very good players. But Zach Ray's in a spot right now where I don't know what the future honestly holds for him, because I know I read a couple comments of people saying like, oh, Zach Ray isn't super investing into alt right now. He's just trying to play the game for fun, which I think is like super sick. If you can do that and then get 13th at one of the most stacked Japanese majors of all time, like how much of that guy do you have to be? But I think Zachary has a super interesting spot in the meta right now because he is a player that could just cause these insane upsets whenever. Like, he could beat literally anyone, but now he can lose to anyone because he's not as practiced. He's juggling 3 characters, and like they're 2 very hard ones in Sheik and Joker, and then Rob is still Rob. But like, Zachary is in such a cool spot right now where anything could happen, and I think that's super hard. You know, he's been deemed the wild card of Smash for a reason, and I think like right now he's literally perfectly playing that with his characters and with the way he's like playing in tournaments. I think Zachary could get literally any placement at any tournament, and that is just super hyped to see. Now, on to top 8. If there's any players that I missed, please let me know down below. I know Jagaimo had an insane run. Umeki had a very good run. Riziasu, Shiryuki. They're all amazing players. We can't talk about everyone, but please, if there's someone I missed, let me know down below. But now, we got to talk about Aquila. And we're not going to be spending as much time on the run because, like, yeah, he beat, like, basically every top 10 player in Japan. He beat Dio, he beat Tora, he beat Shutone, he beat T twice. Aquila is in that contention for number one in the world again, because Leo, he's left that spot for the Open, especially with that fourth at Let's Make Big Moves. Aquila has won 2 super majors within the season, even though only one within 2023 year. He's won 2 within the season, technically because of Japan 24. So Aquila's put himself in a very good spot, and Genesis is going to be a massive tournament for him. I cannot wait to see him there. He's going to probably do very well, but if he wins the whole thing, he could be looking at that number one title, at least for like a month. It's very fickle in Smash. Up next, I want to talk about T, who got second place here. He beat Munikin, he beat Osimo, he beat Kameme, all amazing wins. Lost only to Aquila, and he beat Yoshidora in loser's side. He got bodied in the Ditto low-key. Like, he just got beat fairly hard by Aquila. Like, Aquila looked, I mean, just very, very good this tournament. But T is a player that I don't think we've ever seen play against Aquila. But, like, the Ditto, oh my god. The Kazuya Ditto was bad, but also, like, low-key, Aquila's the best player in the world at Kazuya Ditto, and I would bet money on that. Like, he's actually insane at it. But T looks very good. Top 3 in Japan right now for sure. Arguably top 2 over Shutone. He's overperformed him at the last 2 tournaments they have been in. I mean, I think last 3 actually, because winner as well. And he's definitely top 10. He looks incredible. I hope we can see him travel to NA more, because like the last time he went to NA for both main stage and Ludwig's, he didn't do amazing, but like, you know, he won crown and he got second at Battle of BC earlier in the year. So he's obviously a player that can succeed in NA and is succeeding in Japan with a second place here. Like T is absolutely incredible. His co-mate of Kazuya and Pac-Man, it cannot be understated how strong that is, and how like he's probably like the only player in the world that could pull it off to this caliber. Next, we're gonna look at the 5th place finishers of Shutone and Kameme, because we're gonna save Yoshidora for last. Kameme got a win on Zachary, which is very good. I thought Zachary was gonna take that set because of his Sora experience, because like, you know, he won a major with Sora, but Kameme was able to take that, and over Umeki, which is very convincing. Shutone over Kome and Ken. It makes sense. Those are 2 very good wins from them, but like Kameme, I'm so glad to see him like skyrocket back into that slot of being like top 10, top 5 in Japan, because like he had a rough start to like kind of quarantine era. I feel like he was pretty quiet, but in 2022 he turned up and has just been consistently better. Kameme beating Tora as well, and then only losing to T and Yoshidora, who went out of his mind. I hope we get to see more Kameme Mega Man, not because he needs it, just because I want to see it. But then Shutone with a bit of an underperformance here, losing to only Aquila and Yoshidora, which is like a lot of people this tournament because Yoshidora made a run. But it's like not bad losses at all. A bit of an underperformance for him. That is 2 now, like with Kyojin Dodo as well. But it's also like 3rd and 5th. Like, he shouldn't be feeling that bad about it. His losses are incredible. He's still getting good wins along the way. Shudon is still definitely top 10 in the world, still top 3 in Japan. He's an incredible player, and he's one bad tournament. He'll bounce it off. But also, let's see more Olimar, because Olimar is funny. And that's all the logic behind it. And the final player I want to talk about is going to be Yoshidora. And I know I've said this like 30 times this video, like this is the best losers run, this was the best run of the tournament. Yoshidora actually probably had the best losers run of the tournament just because of the wins he got along the way. So he lost to Ken fairly early on, which is like, shouts to Ken, that's a huge upset. 9th place there is also very good, so big ups to Ken. Beat Jagaimo in losers, beat Harrison, beat Umeki, and then in top 8 he beats Dio, he beats Shutone, and he beats Kameme before losing to T. Those are some incredible wins. Like, Kameme top 10 in Japan, top 20 in the world. Shutone top 3 in Japan, top 5 in the world still probably. Like, those are just some unreal placements. Yoshidora is so good. Again, like, I've said a lot this video, probably top 5 in Japan. There's like 30 people that are top 5 in Japan, but like, it's really hard to be good there right now because there's just so many amazing players. And we kind of saw that from Umebura, all the incredible upsets that happened. Like, the average Japanese player versus the Japanese top player, it is so close because the Japanese scene is just incredible. And Yoshidora played out of his mind. I hope we can see him in the NA sometime soon. Apparently, he has plans to travel, which I am so excited about, and I know he'll do well, but this is an amazing tournament for him. 3rd place at the first Super Major of the year is so good for his resume, and I can't wait to see more out of him in 2023. And I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry if I didn't go over your favorite top player. Please let me know down below. I'll be sure to cover them. And this tournament was really good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. It was absolutely incredible. The Dio sets, oh my god, they made me so happy. Hey, I love good Snake. What can I say? But thank you guys for support. It has been absolutely unreal lately. Let me know if you have any video ideas, things you want to see, please. I'll be down to do basically anything. I'm having a lot of fun doing content right now. And yeah, thank you for everything, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.